the stage, Lex Luthor from Smallville. Give it up for Michael Rosenbaum! Just watch out for the giant TV in your way there.
How are you? Philadelphia. Oh, what a great city. I did the Rocky Steps yesterday. alone at 11 p.m. And it was a bit creepy. There was this guy there, and he goes, "Hey man, let me take your camera." I'm like, no, man, I got this. He's like, no, come on, man, let me take your camera. Give me $5. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk around. I was like, hey, listen, man. I'm like, dude, but it was fun. I did the.
Did you give him your camera?
No,
yeah, good smart move.
I'm not a complete idiot. It was kind of he and I were the only people there. It was kind of weird.
Was it still mad? I always it's always fun when you see things in movies and then you see them in real life. Was it as? Are you about to show us?
Well, you can't really see it, but you can hear it. This is it, man. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Rocky, let's do this. It's late at night. Flying high now.
Yeah, nice.
So,
who knew?
Yeah,
you could put that on your actor reel, maybe. Perhaps. Yeah.
It was nice. That movie always makes me cry.
Oh my
gosh,
it does. So
man.
good.
Doesn't it just get to you when you see it? That underdog. Well, it is. It's Philadelphia. People are like, why is there no iconic statues around, but they have a fictional character? Because that's Rocky.
Yeah.
That's why.
Who's an iconic belle and a fictional statue? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But have you been to Philadelphia a bunch before?
No. This is the first time to Philly.
The first time ever? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's great. I like it. People are really cool here. They said beware. People are always giving Philly a bad rap, right? It's bullshit.
I'm from New York, so I always give Philly a bad rap. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm kidding. I love it.
I'm a Mets fan. I don't mind saying it because the Mets are they're just plummeting. And the Phillies are in first place, so you could say that now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I had somebody yell at me on the street the other day. Just Mets. I was wearing a Mets hat, which was stupid.
I thought maybe he said, "Hey, Lex Luthor."
I know. I know. I shaved just for you this weekend.
Thank you.
You shaved for the part. Is that right?
No, I wore a bald cap.
No.
Yeah, I shaved.
7 years, Michael. I know. My gosh.
Oh God.
Tell us. We've got some fan questions here.
Well, they're going to say, tell us about how the process. Well, they lathered me up. It was a Mach 3 razor. I remember one time I'm just reading the paper in the morning and there's just blood dripping down my face. I'm like, you cut me, and she's like, oh, sorry. She's Canadian, Natalie, nice Canadian makeup artist. She's like, oh, sorry. Like, it's okay. All right, I'm good.
I guess when all makeup is considered, getting your head shaven isn't the worst possible thing.
No. Getting some other things shaved might be the worst. But sometimes I was a really method actor. You know what a method actor is, sir? A method actor is someone who just puts themselves in the role so much, immerses themselves in the role so much where even their outside life, they're still that character. Yeah. So sometimes I would shave my entire body.
Oh.
No, that's not true.
No,
but sometimes you get the spring cleaning.
The spring cleaning.
Anyone? One guy, that guy in the back.
Yeah, there we go. I like how you were trying to reference specific people.
He puts his arm around his girlfriend. Yeah, you like when I spring clean. He's like, yeah, I don't want to be with Harry and the Hendersons over here.
Well, that was a cool feature that they added in the series. That young Lex had been, it was in the meteorite storm.
Meteor shower.
Yeah. And so you were literally, could not grow hair, which was a fun take on it.
Yeah, that was really fun. No, but I didn't know I'd have to shave every day. I thought, it's like, a little stubble's fine. They're like, no, we cannot see a hairline.
Oh my God.
So they'd have to put 3 layers of makeup. So it was in the beginning, it was 2 hours every day.
Wow.
So if call time was at 6 in the morning, my call time was 4. So I'm driving down the road with one eye open, listening to Spandau Ballet. Yeah. I know this. And I'm just like, you're so tired that you ever done this where you just put your head out the window and you're like, oh, and then you start smacking yourself like, what the hell's going on? I got to wake up. Do you ever do that, ma'am? All right, well, you've done that. It's crazy. You got to keep yourself up. You don't want to die. Or you do. I don't know. What? You smacked yourself so hard?
It was like I left the concert at like midnight, and I had to drive all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina to like Columbus, Georgia, and I was like,
Just smacking yourself.
and at one point I was like, I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna die.
Oh, that's tragic. You had options. Pull over.
Not in random parts of Georgia, hell no.
Yeah.
Either die from an accident or die from being in random parts of Georgia.
That's true. You keep driving and just, you wish for the best, yeah.
This is nice. This is more like an intimate meet and greet. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like
We've learned that guy
it's
does.
AA, really. Yeah, it's AA.
I think we should just go around the room, and then you can just give people sort of advice on different things.
I could give you guys a lot of advice. I don't always take it. The late Carrie Fisher was one of my really close friends, God rest her soul.
Yeah.
She used to always give me the best advice, but she never took it. And I feel like I'm like that. I go to therapy, I get advice, and I give it to other people. That's what I do. I don't listen as much as I should. You too, young man? He's like, yeah, I got that. I go, you go to therapy? You're a little young for therapy.
It almost feels like you're an impastor.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
That was a fun show.
Yeah.
Anybody see that? Anybody watching that? 2 years. 2 years. It was a good time in my life.
It was fun because you got back to what I believe are your comedy roots. You know what I mean? You started off in theater and acting and things like that. I'd love to hear sort of just briefly, because it's interesting to me and people, how you began, I know you studied acting and then kind of made your way to New York, and then sort of how that sort of led to Lex, or even some of the early, you really started in voiceover, with like the earlier projects, In
a nutshell, I finally did a play in high school, and people started to notice me for the first time. Like popular kids would go, "Hey, you're pretty funny." So I'm like, oh, cool. So not being me is cool. So I'll keep doing that. Well, it was like a confidence thing. It was like, okay, if I'm around people, I have confidence. But when I'm by myself, I just... my ex-girlfriend was like, you're just always like on when you're around people. I'm like, you're always making them laugh and happy. I'm like, why are you yelling at me? This is good, right? She's like, but it's exhausting. I'm like, fuck off. It's like I'm insecure around people, so I don't know what to do. So I just try to be funny. That's what you got to do. Thank you. I just, I like to, I embrace it now. It's like making people happy to me is like, there's a purpose. I was here for a purpose, to make people laugh. And so I started doing plays in high school and college, fell in love with it, and then started doing sketch comedy and Conan O'Brien when I went to New York. Mm-hmm. And and just things started leading, one thing led to another, and I just kind of fell into it, and I knew I could do drama. I had done it, and I was doing it, and then once I got Smallville, my friends were all like, you're going to get fired. How did you become Lex Luthor? You're an idiot. Because I wasn't that smart, I didn't dress well, I wasn't that mean. So I always thought I was going to get fired from that show. But I always had the comedy roots. I was always making my family laugh, and always making jokes, and always the weird kid in school. So when I came out of it, I knew people were like, well, aren't you worried you're going to get typecast? I'm like, no, first of all, I'm going to grow my hair out. Sorry, Michael.
It's okay.
But, no, grow my hair out and just be me, and that's what's happened. So since Smallville, I've been able to, to do my own thing.
How is the thing about Lex though is he does have a certain it's the charm kind of quirky factor to it, and he starts off not evil, not a bad guy in the Smallville series, which is why it's fun to like watch him develop.
Yeah.
How was it like when you first approached the part? Maybe the audition, the first early scripts. seeing how they were starting off that character.
These are good questions.
Yeah,
you really prepared, right? So look, this is a sort of I understand what your question is, which is,
go for it.
How did I prepare to become Lex Luthor in a way? And you don't prepare to become Lex Luthor. I mean, I've seen Gene Hackman, and he was my idol. I mean, he's the best Lex Luthor ever, period. So I was like, okay, it can't be Gene Hackman. And Gene Hackman, as great as he was kind of hokey, right? It was kind of if you watch it, it's hokey and it's fun, and that's the way I perceived that to be. And I was like, I can't do that. So at first I passed on Smallville because I was like, I don't want to play this goofy character and make him like, ha ha ha, I'll get you. What was that, the Wicked Witch? What did she say? I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. I didn't want to be that. I mean, I like that witch.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
She was badass. She scares me. I have a giant picture of her in my basement. What was her name? Margaret Hamilton. Thank you, Danny. You have a picture of Martin X.
I know, we have a Martin X t-shirt.
My character from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice.
Which I think I'm coming back, so we'll see.
Oh.
Thanks. Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. Well, James said when I interviewed him in the podcast, which you guys can all catch Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, free on iTunes. Big relaunch Tuesday with Kristen Bell. Not plugging it. But I asked him, I said, hey, so we can, he goes, why would I put you in the end credits? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. So I have some employment coming up?
Yeah.
But when? I need it now.
Is that in, are we saying Guardians 3 or a possible spin-off?
I don't know that yet.
Okay.
I know that he's writing Guardians 3 right now because the treatment's done. He just posted that. I just was at a wedding with him last weekend. And, we don't talk business ever. That's the thing with all my friends, like my friend Dax, who directs movies, and my friend Jason Reitman. We talk about just life. The last thing I want to do is be your friend, so are you going to put me in your next movie? So what's going on? How many lines do I have? So it's like, come on, that's not really cool. I mean, I want to know. But what was I getting into before that?
Preparing for Lex and how you took your take on it.
I just said, look, man, the only way this is going to work is if they play it grounded and real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I took every line and I thought, how do I say this line like a normal human being? To a degree. I didn't want it to be too maniacal. I didn't want to be the Joker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not Lex.
Yeah,
Lex is
yeah.
methodical.
Right,
Lex is
exactly.
powerful. So I also wanted to be vulnerable and real, and hopefully the audience would embrace that and say, hey, this is a guy that's flawed and that has a history of just, because we all can relate to, being made fun of in high school, or, except for you, you're probably really popular, you're big. No? You didn't beat people up? Oh, good. Well, not good.
No.
That's
terrible.
Good, but you can relate. Yeah, I was picked on. I didn't really fit in. So I used that. And I used certain things like, my relationship with my father and things along the way that helped me. And
sure.
I said the lines, I'm just going to play it real. I'm just going to play it real. And, I didn't want to get evil too quickly. Season 1, Season 2, yet it's a slow. People are like, when is he going to get evil? I'm like, dude, I'm doing this for 7 years. I got to slow it down. But there's moments.
Yeah.
Right? There's these little moments. So I just trusted the writing, and I trusted the people around me, and just did the best I could. And I honestly was like, the fans are going to hate me. I'm not Gene Hackman. They're going to be like, because comic book fans of DC, Marvel, whatever, you guys are tough. You guys don't accept bullshit. And I just felt like they embraced it, and I was so happy, but I was nervous. I was like, I'm going to get fired. I'm not good looking enough for this role. Look at Tom Welling. He's a hunk. I've got this big knot on my head. Could we shoot around that? All these things were going on. I'm neurotic. I was thinking of all these things, and when I just let go and said, hey, they like me. I'm doing okay. I have a job. Let's just do your best. And then I started to have fun.
That was what was so cool about the show, like you mentioned, though, was that slow burn. I think that's why we really got into it, because it was sort of a tale that we had never heard before. You know what I mean? So yes, we knew where these characters were going to.
Story before the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So we, as comic book nerds, we knew where it was going, right? We knew we were going to get to the final Superman reveal at the end.
Hoping to see him in tights, though, weren't you? I mean, really in tights, but.
I think it started, people started getting maybe a little angry toward the end. Like, when is he just going to fly already? Stop running fast.
That's why people were like, hey, why don't you do more seasons? I'm like, where do I go? After 7 years, that's why I came back for the finale, just as like one last kind of exclamation point.
For sure.
For the series and the character and the fans. And but I felt like, 10 years, I mean, that was, for me, 7 years, they could have wrapped it up. But, 10, good for you.
Well, it was really the start of what now is like the CW superhero verse.
Yeah, somebody in Detroit. I was in Detroit signing on Thursday or Friday. What? Friday. Thank you, Paula. Your friend, yeah. And someone said, "You guys were the OGs of all these shows," and I was like, "She's right."
Yeah.
We were kind of the flagship, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And it just took off. So somebody goes, well, what do you have to say about that? I go, well, I'd love commission. I'd love to get some residuals from the Arrow.
Right.
Maybe Stephen Amell could send me some checks. No, but it's cool. It's cool to see how much it's grown.
Technically, I think Lex is president in 2018 in the final episode. He could make an appearance, come back.
That's true. Lex could always come back. And people are always like, are you upset that Jesse Eisenberg and all the other Lex Luthors and they haven't asked you? And I'm like, I'm not upset at all. I'm happy for everybody. And I worked with Jesse in a movie that no one saw called Cursed, but I got to work with Wes Craven, which was great. But Jesse's a great guy and he's a great actor. And people always say, well, what do you think of his portrayal? And I'm like, that's what he did. That's what the director wanted him to do, and good for him. And that's the direction he did. I mean, would I have done it differently? Yeah, of course. That's why. But I've never been upset that I wasn't considered. I think I was just annoyed that I'm like, I did 7 years. Did I suck that bad where I can't get an audition for this?
Right.
Can I just go in and just let me read something for you? Let me show you. But they, sometimes that TV to movie is. But today, I feel like everybody's doing TV and movies, and it doesn't matter. So maybe that will change, or maybe they're just waiting till I get to be like 60 years old. I'm older. I don't look like I get rid of the boyish thing. Although Jesse's kind of young. He's younger than me.
They clearly messed up.
All right, I got to rethink this.
Yeah.
No. But I always say good for him. It's always nice when actors are working.
For sure. Let's get some of these questions. They've been waiting patiently. Let's do it. Hey.
Hi. I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the Smallville series, and I actually started watching it because I wanted to see how Lex was portrayed on the show. I would like you to say one of my favorite lines on the show, which is, I am the real Lex Luthor.
Did I say that on the show?
Yes.
I did? Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
I am the real Lex Luthor. Did I say that?
Yeah.
I said that. I remember I said it. I am the villain of the story.
It was in the same episode.
I remember that. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also, I disagree with one of the things you said. I think you're better looking than Tom Welling.
Oh. You heard it here.
Yeah, well. I am aging rather well.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 46, man.
Whoa.
Can you believe 46 years old? And who's older than me here? You're older than me? You too? I like that. Good. It really doesn't matter. I'll say this, and this is part of my advice and my therapy, and I'm saying it for myself. I won't listen to what I'm saying. But my grandmother said, she's 90, June 16th, it's her 90th birthday, and I'm flying in, we're going to surprise her. She's like my best friend, and she goes, Mikey, let me tell you, she's a Jew from New York. She goes, I don't care what anybody says, your 50s and 60s, even your 70s, even into your 80s are the best years. And I go, really? We go places, we relax, we know who we are, we enjoy life, we're not... And she's right, because I think when you're young, you're always chasing something. You're always trying to impress other people. You're always trying to, what everyone thinks of me. And there comes a time when you're like, I just don't give a shit. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. It's none of my business what other people think of me. And I think when you get to that stage where it's not like you don't care and you just disregard human beings, but it's more like you just know who you are, you love yourself, and you're able to just live your life the way you want to live it. So that's what I took from that. So I'm telling you, so look forward to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, early 80s. Then it starts to get probably rough.
Yeah.
The back, my back, my neck. All right, go ahead, sir. Sorry about that.
We're getting a lot of good performances here. We had the Wicked Witch of the West. We had a little Rocky. We had Lex Luthor.
I was a bigger. I know people hate the word geek or nerd, and it's overused. But if you imagine me in high school, my friends or not my friends, people are out at walking the mall because that's what people did. They were cool. They walked the mall, and they wore Drakkar. I don't know if you remember Drakkar, sir. Maybe you still wear Drakkar. I don't know. But I remember I would be up in my room watching Jaws, and watching the trailer. Look, smile, you son of a... He's got the boat.
Nice.
That
was me.
I'm sorry, but I would remember the whole... I've done this, but I remember the trailer, just watching it and just memorizing, going, no creature has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without fear, without logic. It is as though God created the devil and gave him Jaws. See it.
Come on.
Swimming.
Yeah.
Say, it paid off.
Paid off.
17 years old, up in my room. By the way, what's the best tagline for a movie, for a horror movie? Nightmare on Elm Street. If Nancy doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all. Come on, man. I love horror movies.
Jaws was good too. You don't want to. You won't want to go back into the water, right? Is that the Jaws tag?
Don't go in. It's not safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Jaws, see it before you go swimming. Hi.
Hi, Rosie.
How are you?
I think that you get more and more handsome all the time, so don't
Well,
worry about aging.
Thank you.
And because this is the Inside of You podcast, technically, thank you for allowing me to be inside of you.
Oh, yeah, all right.
All right.
I do say that's sort of my tagline. When I meet guests, I say thank you for allowing me to be inside of you. And at the end, I go, I appreciate you letting me be inside of you. And they're like, it was a pleasure. Everybody has their own kind of response to it. But Tuesday, I get inside of Kristen Bell. So
there we go.
Listen to that. Big relaunch, so support it, please.
I heard that you almost had your own reality television show on MTV in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yes, true.
And that at one point, you were in a Broadway production of Cats.
Yeah, that was part of it. So,
And I want you to release those pictures.
you know what? I have the video. I found the video.
Nice.
We will do a charity bidding war for them.
It
Please.
is embarrassing.
Good.
But it was for MTV. Kent Alterman, who's the president of Comedy Central, produced it. He was my producer. And it was called Working Stiff. And it was 1995, 96. And it was about a guy who just took over someone's job for a day. So I became a zookeeper for a day at the Queen Zoo, and I was a cat on Broadway. It was the first time Andrew Lloyd Webber had ever let anyone do this. And so I had to learn the choreography for like 4 hours, and they couldn't say it more clearly. They're like, Michael, don't try to be funny. Do not mess up the show. People are here to see it. Don't do something funny and stupid. But I really took it seriously, and I'm just doing this cat thing. My character was Spike, and it tested really high. And I thought it was going to get picked up, and it didn't. And I'm so glad. Because if it did, I would have become, because it was ahead of its time.
Right.
Because now shows like that started in the late 90s, 2000s, but I think if that was a hit, I probably wouldn't have gotten the opportunities. Like, oh, the guy from the Cats, he's not Lex Luthor. People look at stuff like that. So I'm glad it didn't work out for me for that.
I'm glad too.
Yeah, but I might have to post it.
Please.
Would you guys dig that?
Yeah.
I think you'll like it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You did the entire show?
I did the entire show, so wow. I did like 3 spots where I dance, and I'm in the back corner, and the camera zoomed in on me, and I'm just like, Tom Tiger is a curious cat. And I'm just so into it. It's ridiculous. My friend in the front seat, I looked at him, I eyed him, and he's crying with laughter. Tears coming down. And they offered me, it was like, we'll give you $40,000 a year to be on the show. I'm like, yeah! $40,000! I mean, I'm 24 years old.
And at the time, you know what I mean? It was your first, it could have been that first big thing. You didn't know where that would have been.
I didn't know where it could have
MTV,
gone.
Comedy Central.
And then they were like, you could work your way up to being a VJ. Mm-hmm. Coming up next, we got Madonna. Yeah.
I could see you VJing.
Dude, I could do it. I could do it. I wanted to be a DJ. I was a DJ in college. I was like, New Rock 92, Bowling Green's only alternative. Sunday night, I got the 12 to 4 a.m. spot. No one's listening. I used to honestly spend my own money thinking I'd get listeners. I go, hey, if anybody wants to be the 5th caller, I will buy them a Subway sandwich. And nobody would call, and I'd make up a name. All right, Rick. Rick, as I'm just eating the sandwich, and I'd have my friends come in. Matt, hey, man, what do you do? Nothing, man. I'm your roommate. All right. I'd interview them, and nobody cared.
Dude, those tapes exist. That's the real question. My gosh,
probably
some archive somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, I'd love to have it. I'd love it. Those are the golden years, man. Those are the golden years. All right, next question.
Thank you for allowing me to be inside of you.
You're welcome. You got inside me. Can you guys help him with the mic, please? What's your name, young man?
Lex.
Oh. Well, don't look sad about it.
He's just a little nervous.
It's a cool thing. You are named after... Is he named after me? Yes? Named after Lex Luthor? You are cool. No, it's pretty sweet, man. You're a good kid. You're not going to follow. You're going to be the good Lex, right?
Still developing.
I think you're going to be good. I'm hoping for goodness. What's your question, young man?
What inspired you to act?
Well, I sort of said it a little while ago. I didn't fit in. For me, I didn't fit in anywhere. And when I was on stage, I felt comfortable and I felt like I was accepted. So I started doing plays and started to do things, and people thought, oh, he's good, he's funny, he's this on stage. So being on stage was a release from being me. But, you know, that's why it's so important in your developmental years when you're young for your parents to give you a lot of support and a lot of love and encouragement. And those are things that you need. And they're giving it to you, right? They love you. They love you. They do love you. Let me tell you something. They love you. I could tell. They admire you. They
force you to get in line.
They do. Yeah, they let you dress up like that.
Yeah, you look cool, man.
You come to the convention. They take you here. You look cool. They love you. They want you to be happy. There's nothing better than seeing your kids succeed. And so I just think that's important. You're gonna do well. You're loved. You just go with your heart and try to be a good person and do what you love in life. You don't have to be an actor. Find what your passion is.
Thanks, Lex.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Are you good? Are your parents, do they love you? God bless you. Oh, my God. You all right? That blew some of his hair off there. All right, next question.
Oh, he's got tissues for her. That's nice.
Oh, you're a lovely man. I knew when I met you a couple hours ago. Like, that guy's just nice. And he likes The Flash. Go ahead.
Coming off of the Flash tangent, I absolutely loved you in Justice League animated. And
thank you.
Well, my question is, what are your thoughts on the whole trend of like the Justice League reunion being an actual thing?
You know, the only way it could happen is if like every fan really responded. Like, we're getting a lot of response and people really want it, but it takes a lot for a studio to take notice. They need, I think, more and more people. So it's like you got to hit them hard from every angle. And I know that like Susan Eisenberg, who plays Wonder Woman, and all the other cast, we'd love to do it. I mean, it was a great series, Justice League and Unlimited, and Bruce Timm's fabulous, and Andrea Romano, who directed it, and Kevin Conroy as Batman, and I mean, we loved it. It was such a good show, and it was well made. You know, it was really well made, and it looked great. We'd all love to do it again, albeit a movie or another show, but it takes really them wanting to do it, and of course them seeing the monetary sort of value in all of it. That's what they always look like. Well, can this make money? Can this? And, you know, if more and more fans demand it, then there's a chance. So.
Because those are the voices that, I mean, at least I identify with the characters. You know what I mean? That series, you know, for the animated series. So it'd be great to have you all back. And you know, I could see where a studio could just be like, well, this other person's fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? But to get all those original voices
too.
back.
You know, it's funny because animation it doesn't pay well. I think people think that when you do animated voices, you make a lot of money. And you do, I think, if you do the big movies and you're like The Simpsons. Sure. But for most shows, if they're not hits and they're just starting out, it's called scale, or where you make the bare minimum. Like you get honestly, you get a couple $100. Where people think it's thousands and thousands and thousands. It's you know, it's still great and it's a great job, but you don't in the beginning until it becomes a huge success. You're not making the money I think people think, but you do it for the art and the fun, and you know, if you have kids, you know that your kids are going to love it. You do it for people, and it's just you appreciate it because it's fun because you watch cartoons, right? So, I mean, I loved it. I really enjoyed doing it. So I hope we do it again. Cool. They still ask me to do Flash for like there's something coming out which I can't say, but it's cool.
You're Flash, and it's cool.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so he's Flash, and it's cool, everybody.
Yeah.
Look for it.
Cool. That's Flash, and it's cool. Thanks, man.
Definitely will.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Cameron, and I got a
Cameron.
two-part question for you. The first, coming off the heels of your last answer, what advice would you give to people when you reflect back on going after the bigger roles in your life, when you were a little younger and kind of not well-known, so to say, versus the process that it is today, a little more cutthroat maybe? What are your reflections on that?
It's always been really tough. Like, I remember I auditioned for Saving Private Ryan and tested for it, got down to the wire. I remember Band of Brothers meeting with Tom Hanks. I remember meeting with Brian De Palma for some crappy movie. I forgot what it was. Mission to Mars. And like, you have some opportunities, and I think when you're younger, I'd say to any actor who's trying to do it, take every job seriously, every audition. And I think at times I got a little lazy, or maybe I was a little cocky at times, where I was just like, there's something in my mind which I got to get rid of, where it's like, I don't feel like trying as hard as I would as if I got the role. Like when I became Lex Luthor, I just put everything into it. Like I tortured myself. But when you don't get when you're auditioning, you're like, there's other people. Why do I want to put that much effort into it? I haven't gotten it yet. So, but I don't recommend doing that. But I always went in prepared. But, I think if you really want roles, you got to just go like it's like there's no tomorrow. Like this is everything. And and I think those are the guys that really succeed, that really want it, that always like work, and that are really talented a lot of the times. I mean, there's some that aren't as talented that get work. We know those people. You know who those are. But I think, with everything, you got to put 150%, especially if you want to be an actor. Like, I think I had, like, natural ability because I just had a personality which helped, and I got some confidence. And confidence is the number one thing. If you're confident with anything you're doing, that's the key. Confidence. I shit my pants all the time, but people think I'm confident. I'll go in an audition or a meeting or pitching a movie or something. They're like, hey, I'm like, how's it going? How are you? And I'll just sit down. I go, can I have one of these mints? Oh, thanks. And they see a confidence, even if it's fake, or I'm a little nervous. Don't let them see that nervousness. Try to just cover it up. But don't be a dick. You know what I mean? I was a dick once in an audition because the character was a dick. And the director's like, the other guys were like, he was great for that part. That's the guy. He's like, no, he seemed like an asshole. So I had to call the director and go, I'm really not. You could ask any crew I've ever worked on. I always have fun. I'm nice on set. And he goes, okay. And okay, what? He goes, oh, you can have the role. And I swear, I called him and I had to tell him. But I think confidence is vital. With any career you choose, you got to be confident. That was Sorority Boys. It was. Didn't make a lot of money, but I love that movie. And by the way, it was the biggest joy of my life too. Like, you always wish when you're young that you want to do a movie in Hollywood and you want to have fun on set. And there wasn't a better movie to do that with. I was with two guys. We were in drag every day. We laughed for 3 months, all summer long. And I was like, this is living the dream. Being happy and laughing and having fun on a movie set. This is what it's about. So it's not always like that. Sometimes it's like there's guys that are not fun to work with. Sometimes there's actors that are too serious or take themselves too seriously, and I'm just making armpit farts, and they're like, I need to focus here. I mean, I don't always armpit fart, but
intense focus on Sorority Boys, I'm sure.
Yes. But confidence, man. Confidence. Yeah. Try to have as much confidence if you're going to pursue that or anything you pursue. You just got to, and try as hard as you can. And I still do. You get older, you get a little lazier. Sure. Ma'am? Yeah. Lazy.
I'm not saying you are directly lazy, but you feel lazier now, right?
Lazy. It's just harder to wake up in the mornings. You know what I mean?
Kind of like that old adage that your worst enemy is yourself.
My worst enemy is myself.
It's kind of an old saying. Like
yes, I thought you were giving me like that's. I thought for a second you were my therapist.
Well, you are both Flash.
It's like you're your own worst enemy. Fear is nothing. You stop this. It's all in your head. Yep. Have fun, and that's also important. Like, This should be an intervention.
We love you, Michael. We're here for you.
Thank you. But it's having fun. It's like enjoying life, and instead of going on stage and thinking, I'm gonna bomb, they're gonna boo, I can't do that. Thinking, I'm gonna have fun. Let's just have fun. Let's just change that way of thinking. And so, that's what I do.
Very nice.
I'm naked from the waist down right now.
Yeah. It's true. He did it throughout the entire interview without me realizing, and I've just looked down. Flash! Hey!
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Daniel Madison. My family watched Smallville. I like your show. Plus the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I like your movie. Here's the one question. Do you acting before you go to high school?
The only thing I did before high school was I was in a musical in 5th grade, and we sang "Eat It" by Weird Al Yankovic. You know the song "Beat It"?
Yeah.
Beat it! So it was like, don't you know that other kids are starving in Japan, so eat it. Just eat it. And all I did, and I was wearing do you remember Sunkissed? I was wearing a Sunkissed shirt, an orange Sunkissed shirt. And I did the moonwalk on stage and off stage. And the place erupted. And I go, I'm awesome. That's all I did. Yeah. And I remember going, I got to get that feeling again. And it took me another 5 years of getting to high school and doing that play. But
I think it is those earliest memories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That really get the bug going. In any profession,
Yeah, when you get any sort of adoration or you know what I mean? After you're yawning, are you tired? I'm trying to keep you awake here. Have a cookie.
Wow.
It's gluten-free.
Wow.
But I don't care who you are. Is there anyone in here who just doesn't really love when someone laughs at their joke or appreciates their work or says, wow, you look so cute in your glasses? You know what I mean?
He instantly loved that. Yeah.
We all love that, right? We all love that. You look good today. Of course, I'm neurotic. And I say, what about yesterday? Just take the compliment. You look good today. Be present. The glasses look good. I like the braces. Your teeth are going to be perfect in a few years. Yeah, they will. Dude. Yeah, that's what braces are for. I didn't wear them, right? So my teeth were I got punched by this guy, Rich Rhodes, once. And my teeth, I had these big pointy teeth. And I got a retainer later in life because my old manager goes, listen, man, you need to straighten your teeth if you want to be a leading man. I'm like, oh my God. And you need to cut your hair and use skin products. And I'm like, okay. And then so I cut my hair right after this show I did, and I put a retainer in for 6 months, straightened my teeth, and booked a lead in Urban Legend.
There we go.
I'm not saying change. I'm saying braces work. Retainers work. No Botox here, kid.
So far we've got your college DJ tapes. All right, we're going to get the footage of the MTV, and then we need to then go all the way back and get you singing "Eat It" at this high school production.
I don't know. Somebody's got to have that. I can get the grease tape online.
Nice.
Well, thank you very much, because I like Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Thank you.
Yes. Do you see Infinity Wars?
I did not see it.
Okay, good.
But I know I'm going to be in the next one. I don't know which one, but
right.
Not Infinity, but something.
Right.
Yeah, they haven't
Something
officially
in
released the title yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
The next Avengers?
No, I don't know. Old James says I'm in one of the next ones.
Gotcha.
I don't know what that means. He won't tell me exactly.
Yeah.
I'll probably find out soon, and he'll say, shut the F up. And don't tell anybody. But, I just want to work with Stallone
Was
again.
that all, was that motion capture or a combination
Yeah,
of that and
dots
makeup?
on my face.
Yeah.
So I had a dinner with James once, and I go, can I ask you a serious question, man? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you think I'm remotely handsome? He's like, yeah, you're a decent looking guy. But I'm not, am I ugly? No, I don't think you're ugly. Am I charming? Yeah. Why are you putting CGI on my face? And he goes, I don't know, I think it's cooler than your face. But, it's fun. It's a cool character. Martin X is one of the original Guardians of the Galaxy back in the comic books, one of the originals. So, and I get to work with Stallone. I worked with him a couple of weeks, and every day he'd come up to me and go, Hey, what's with the dots in your face, huh? What are you, the Wendy's girl? What are you, Pippi Longstocking? Hey, what's with this guy's face? So, anyway. Thank you.
Well, thank you, good sir.
Thanks, man.
We got from the Rocky theme to Sylvester Stallone and Guardians. Look at this, huh?
See how it comes full circle?
Yeah.
How you doing, huh? Are you Supergirl or something? Hey, I'm no dummy over here, hey. Yeah, I may not, what does he say? I may not be that smart, but I'm no, you don't remember? I'm no bum.
You're a bum. Yeah, from Rocky. I was thinking the Ravager character. I was like, I don't remember that one.
I love that movie. Rocky, I'm telling you, Rocky 1 and 2, I'm telling you, I cry. Watch it again. Just watch it by yourself. I remember my friend and I watched it, and we wore robes. We were wearing robes in my trailer in Smallville, just sitting in there watching Rocky crying, and the first AD comes in and goes, hey, we need you. Oh, my God. 2 grown men crying to Rocky. Remember when she's like, he goes, he's talking to the girl in Rocky, and he tells her all this advice. He's like, look, like you guys are going to do it. And then she goes, hey, Rock. He's like, yeah. He's like, screw you, creepo. And then when he walks up, he's like, and he talks to him, so it makes me so sad. He's like, yeah, who are you giving advice, right? Like, who's going to listen to you, you know? It's like, and you just felt for him, like, oh, my God. Not even this girl's going to listen to this messed up girl. Okay, sorry, we have a question.
So obviously, in theory, because he was headed there anyway, but as far gone as Lex was by season 7, do you think he could have still turned things around, despite Clark's lies and horrible betrayal, if Kara had been open and honest with him?
I don't know. At that point, I think he just snapped.
Yeah.
Some people just snap at a certain point where it's just like the world is against them, or it appears that way, and there's no love. He's already killed his father. You know, he threw him out of a window at that point. His mother died when he was a kid. His younger brother, Julian, died. He was in a meteor shower. He was made fun of his entire life. He lived in a lonely castle. He had to wear suits. He had to always impress his father. His best friend lied to him over and over. His security guards at the mansion were shit. I mean, it's just like, how did you get in here? Are there cameras? I'm a billionaire. What? Marty, where are you? In the front lawn. Oh, sorry, it was at Wendy's. What is it, Clark? You lied to me, Lex. Oh, here we go again. Thank you. Good question.
So remember, kid, your parents love you. They do love you.
Your parents love you. You agree? Yeah, come on. They do.
We're running out of time, but we have just enough time for these final 2 questions.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty quick and easy. I'm just wondering if there's...
Sounds familiar.
Check out the podcast inside Michael.
Oh, yeah. Right. Is there a story or a reason why your name is Rosenbaum on Twitter?
Yes, there is. It's a very simple answer. Rosenbaum wouldn't fit. So I had to put Rosenbum. Instagram, it worked. So I use Instagram more. Thank you.
Good question.
Last question. This better be good.
We'll make it good. Hi, name is George. Just want to say first, you are, like I said, the Kevin Conroy version of Flash. So like,
Thank
I
you.
think of Batman, Kevin Conroy.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Michael Rosenbaum as the Flash. But the main question is, when you did your character's voice for, I think, Return of the Joker, like, what was your inspiration for just in general of going into like voiceover work? Like, where do you get the inspiration for the character? Because in Return of the Joker, your character kind of had a little bit of a Walken-esque to it.
I'll tell you exactly what going. So I walk in. First of all, I go, I want to do animation. And my agent goes, well, it's hard to get into. It really is hard. I go, okay, well, let me know. And one day she calls me and goes, hey, Andrea Romano, who directs a lot of the Batman Beyonds, is the guy canceled, and they need somebody to come in and say like 4 lines. I'm in. And I went in there, and I started just doing, Michael, do any voices? And I did some things, and she liked it, and then they called me back for another part. And then Bruce Timm would say, do you do any impressions? And I go, yeah. And I started doing Christopher Walken. She says, let me hear your Walken. I'm like, I don't know, Batman. this is great. I'm going to kill you for good. Because you're nothing, Batman. Take off the mask. You're a grown man. You're a grown man, Batman. And then he goes, oh, do a Malkovich. And I'd be like, no, what you couldn't possibly know, Frank. And I would do this. And they do your Spacey for Deadshot. And I was like, no, listen to me. No, damn it. This is how it is. And I would do this whole thing. And I would just do all these impressions. And they would go, yeah, do that for Deadshot. Do Walking for a Scarecrow. And I was like, this is great. I'm getting paid for just being an idiot. And I would just do all these impressions. So they just let me go free. And sometimes when they just say, Michael, just do a whole bunch of different versions, that's the best time. I always say, on the last show Impastor we did, and this other show, Breaking In, which didn't last very long, I'd say, yeah, thank you. But I go, let me do a Rosenbaum. And so it was known as like the Rosenbaum. So we got what we need. We have time, let him do a Rosenbaum. And I would just do my own, whatever's in my head. I would just do a take, like, it could be completely wrong, but it could be completely different or get moments that were just, because a lot of times actors will just do the line, say the part, do the same thing, every take's the same. And I remember the editors gave me the best compliment. They're like, dude, we don't even know what to choose with you. And I'm like, yeah, wait. Yeah, because I just wanted to try so many different things that maybe something I did that was quirky and weird. There's a part in Smallville, I remember, that one of my friends, Roger, who I didn't even know watched the show, goes, man, there's this part when the car was about to hit you, and Clark went in, and then you look at him, and like, it's called Shattered Smallville. And my character just went like, this look where I'm like, because he was drugged up, he's like he looks at him, and I just did this take where I was like, I just tried to be, and I did a bunch of circles spinning in a row, and I sat down in the action, I just, and I was just out of it, and it looked, and I'm like, oh my God, it was crazy, and they kept it, and people were like, that was genius. I'm like, that was me spinning around, and acting like an idiot. But anyway, hey, give it up for Michael. Great question. Come on, great moderator. Thank you for coming to Philly. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Michael Rosenbaum! Thank you. I'll be signing for another 2 hours and pictures, and listen to the podcast. Check out the podcast. Love you guys. Philly, Paula, Danny, loved kid. You're loved.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like. You can share it with some friends, and please feel free to leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe, and there's a little bell thing. If you click that, you get notifications when we have more videos coming out. See you next time.